Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel from Back to the Caballero podcast. We're back. I got all the guys with me today. Say what's up, guys.
What
So
about
what's up?
What's up?
This is actually the second time we had technical difficulties. We had to start all over again, but yeah, man. I think we talked about the quarantine, how you guys are dealing with it, what you guys are excited to see.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
I think
much.
the main thing was the Bundesliga and soccer again. Something to watch during this time of sadness.
Juby? Any
Mm-hmm.
recommendations on teams?
Teams.
Well,
Any team.
Schalke's playing a pretty good team. I forgot. It's supposed to be like the biggest game of the jornada.
Well, I think they're kicking it off with Bayern. And forget who. I haven't even looked at the schedule to be honest with you. But one thing you need to know from the German league is that whichever game you watch, it's a good game.
Oh, I think it's Dortmund Schalke off the bat.
Mm,
So you gotta watch some Americans, McKinney and Gio Reyna.
Gio Reyna,
yeah,
Claudio Reyna son.
Yes, sir.
yeah. So just get ready for that physicality and the refs letting the game play by itself.
And the afición. I've heard a lot about the fan base
Well,
No,
I
creo
mean,
que
bases.
va a ser ahora puerta cerrada.
yeah, that's one thing that's gonna be a little weird. It's not gonna have the fans. That's the thing, and I think that's what makes it. Uh, I think that's what's beautiful about the league. Every game you see is full stadiums. You never see an empty seat.
Yeah,
But
I think it takes away the advantage for the home team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, as long as we got something to watch, and hopefully they keep the guy safe.
Yeah, I've been hearing like random rumors of like guys getting positive tests, then some guys actually already having gone through it and not even knowing it. So it's crazy.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's gonna be. I think this is uncharted territory for everybody. So if everything goes good with them, that kind of allows everybody else to, piggyback off that, and hopefully we'll have some games
There,
coming up in the future.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that there's a possibility of like for the most part, all games not being played with fans for like the next six or so months?
I, I
Uh,
think I think the possibility is there at least till the end of the season if they were to finish it. I think it's the best way to go with everything that you hear on the news.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want to believe, but I think it's the safest way.
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I think that's gonna be the biggest concern for the moment because you could control the players on who they talk to, who they uh, go around with, but it's very hard to control
A fan base.
a fan base. Yeah, because there's between 20,000 to 70, 80,000 people, and then you mix in
And then
X
you're
amount of teams every league.
yeah,
So that's too many people to control. So it's easier to just leave those people out until something is figured out with vaccines or it's cured.
Mm-hmm.
So it might even be longer than 6 months. They're saying all public events like that might even take up to fall of next year.
yeah. I've heard like 18 months. I've heard even 2 years. So it is a huge possibility. And I mean,
2 years?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's something. It's a recommendation. It's not solidified in stone, and it's just like I've heard scientists say that there shouldn't be like public gatherings like concerts or games till something's figured out. But again, it like you said, like the safety is probably going to be a big aspect of it. And I mean and that's one of the topics that I wanted to bring up. But yeah, man. Uh, with that being said, I think for this week, John actually had a question posed.
Which one? ¿Cuál de todas?
The no, pues qué dijiste? The top five.
Oh, the top five strikers in Liga MX. Your
That
choice.
you've seen play.
That you see him play. None of that YouTube stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you're like, damn.
All right, who's first?
I'll give it to Juvie. Juvie answered it the other day.
Me? Este. Well, where do we start, man?
From what you've seen.
Um,
Yeah.
from what I've seen,
Cinco, wait, none of those special shutouts.
no. Well, I mean,
Honorable
like,
mentions.
I do have my honorable mentions because it's very hard to limit it to just five. You know,
But
este,
that
pero
tells you that there was a lot of talent.
Oh, there has been.
yeah, there has been from anywhere. You know, we're talking about the Liga MX has always been. Uh, I know we kind of, go on it like go hard on it a little bit about extranjeros, but there has been some very good extranjeros come through our league and have very successful careers somewhere else. But let me go really quick through my honorable mentions, and then we'll go with the rest of the list. So it's Chucho Benitez, Omar Bravo, Piojo Lopez, Bozo. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much my honorable mentions list right there. And then, no particular order. Here's the main list. Start off with Chupete Suazo. You know, the guy have velocidad. You know, not the biggest dude, but was very physical. Knew how to use his body, throw his body around. Could finish with both feet. And they equally was good. You know, with both feet, good ball control. Uh, he one of the things I used to love from him was that little recorte que hacía, where he would have the ball on his right side, cut to the left, or the other way around. He would have the ball on his left side, cut to the right, and then usually he'll blast it, and more than likely, he would always go in.
And he was always a threat.
Yeah, he was always a threat, and he made players like the Nigris better. You know, you had other guys around there like Ayubi, like freaking campeón con Monterrey, ganó que if I'm not mistaken, ganó en el 2009, 2010, that was that Monterrey team that won the CONCACAF for I think 3 years straight,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the leader of that team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys want me to continue or you guys want to throw your picks in there because I'll take up too much time, man. Pero
Danny? Or no. Actually,
Yeah,
throw your
finish him.
picks. Yeah, finish it.
finish it. My next one on the list is Saturnino Cardoso. I think one of the most pure goal scorers in our league. He had that. We can't even I don't even know what to call it, but he just had that orfato goleador. No matter where the ball was, no matter where the ball landed, whatever he did, it would go in. And some of those kicks were not even were some ugly. Some of them weren't the most nicest things you've seen, but for some reason, they would always be in the back of the nets. And a little. Some people call it luck. I call it a little bit of luck and IQ because he knew where to move, how to move and he always knew where the porteria was. Next one is Bofo. I know in Chivas he didn't really play as your main striker. He would always play. Like a second striker, pero con Morelia, Chiapas, other teams, he was always the main dude. And I think I would say with him, he wasn't the fastest player, but for some reason, he would always find a way to get players off him. And he would be able to just put the ball wherever he wanted without, I call Bofo the Paul Pierce of soccer, just to understand my reference. He's not the most physical dude, not the fastest guy, but he would get the job done. Next one is Paco Palencia. which I think Paco Palencia was a little bit of ahead of his time. He was more of the nine that we see nowadays. He's able to have ball control, good passer, good at finishing. He had that outside shot. He wasn't scared of being himself. He was always on that rockero face, and a lot of
To this
people,
day,
yeah, a lot of people wouldn't be okay with that in those days. And he was like, you know what, I'll be who I am. This is how I am. This is how I play. Screw you guys. And then the last one on the list is Burgatti. Basically, the best headering ability I have seen. Uh, Not only throughout the Mexican League, but I would consider it throughout soccer. And yeah, that's my top five right there. Quien le quiera seguir.
go for it, Danny.
Uh, so my top five is kind of a little bit more recent, and just because of the fan base. Well, for one is like Palencia. Like Juby said, it was just he was a different type of player. I think he was the type of player that could boot it from the outside or find a way in, whatever needed to be done. But his career was embodied in the Cruz Azul shirt, So he's one of my favorite players of all time. But for the other four, I kind of had like a little bit more off picking Franco Jara, which I think he's a little bit underrated on the spectrum of everybody. He is the highest scorer for Pachuca. I think he has like 80 something goals. But every season, man, Pachuca is like looking to transfer him out. It's weird how many rumors have come up for the past like 3-4 years that Franco Jara's on his way out. The other one, Omar Bravo. Like Juby said, the biggest surprise for me was Oribe Peralta, and again, it has to do not only with his ability, but what he meant to the Mexican national team and what he was able to do at Santos later in his career, at America later in his career. I mean, he made me suffer. So he was one of those players that you hated to play against him. It just sucked. Like you knew, and he was passionate about it. Like he knew the rivalries were there, and because there's a lot of players that come in and come out, but they do well there, and nothing comes from it. Like Peralta gave you that anguish, and he knew it. Like he knew what he was doing, and he knew that everybody that wasn't on his team was like public enemy number one to him. You know. The last player I had picked is actually Andre Pierre Gignac. He came in, changed. I think he revolutionizes the LigaMx in a way that we hadn't seen before because I don't want to say Tigres is a big team, but he definitely brought them up to what they are now. Him, the coach, the staff around them, the players around them. But I mean, for the past how many years that he's been here, he's taken over the first spot scoring wise. I think he's only been here since 2015, so in 5 years he's done a lot more than people that have had 15 years to do. But yeah, man, I think also back to Peralta, I think we forget that he's probably the closest to hitting the top 5 goal scorers for Liga MX. I don't think he's gonna be able to do it, but he's at about like 190, 180, but I feel like he doesn't get recognized for that.
Well said about the Tigres thing. That's
Yeah.
all I gotta say.
Yeah.
That was perfect. Music to my ears.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, he definitely catapulted them into a spot where they're inching to be one of the big teams. But we both like the afición
Sorry to
isn't
interrupt.
there. Yeah.
He meant that they're not a big team.
Yeah, I'll give you that though. Gignac has changed the league. He's different. He's a beast. I remember when they played against Chivas in that final. I was scared of him, and I wasn't even
Everybody
playing.
was.
So just because, not because I mean, first of all, he's 6'2", and he can boot the ball from anywhere with both feet, and he's very aggressive. So definitely a worthy player to mention.
Hey man, the only LigaMx player that's played in the Euro.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you gotta give him
Yeah,
props.
yeah. No, and I mean, I'll give another player. Yeah, I'll give Uribe a little bit of props because uh he was a late bloomer and he kind of did accomplish a good amount of things later on in his career. He's a very decorated soccer player. One thing I've always told John about him is I like how he's your first line of defense. He if he loses the ball, he recuperates it or he protects that ball. But yeah, um, it kind of sucks that like his career was good for a little bit, but it hasn't panned out. I know in the beginning stages it wasn't good, later stages wasn't even good either. But the little bit amount of time he had as a good career was Santos and early years in America. But if he would have had been one of those early bloomers, he probably would have been done a little more.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like I mean to me Oribe is kind of like that Luis Suarez where in the World Cup he would have fucking hit the ball out with his hand and been happy with the outcome. So he's kind of that player that he knows exactly, he plays devil's advocate.
Hey, he'd do a lot of the dirty work. He'll come back.
Yeah.
I've seen him run from wherever he just finished the play all the way back to the midfield or even further to try to win the ball back,
Yeah.
Yep.
even at his older age. So the entrega from him has never been doubted, at the very least.
Or like that one time que se peleó con La Palmera. You guys remember that one?
Hmm.
Those are one of the traits that I like to see in my players.
Aggression.
Yeah.
Right, John?
Aquí el maestro Yuri.
I like the enforcers.
Yeah, Gattuso's his favorite player.
No, 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 no. Reynoso.
You wanna go or you want me to go?
I'll go. Um, a lot of the players you guys said already were definitely the guys that I would have picked. Uh, Definitely some guys that stand out to me are like Gignac that you mentioned. Cardoso was a beast. My dad hated him for good reason because we didn't go for Toluca, so of course we hated him, right? But
I
I
hate
like.
him now.
Yeah. Well, if you were a Chivas fan, you hated him.
Oh,
Yeah,
ese güey los
But
vacunaba.
but if you were a
that's
fan of
right.
soccer, you loved him. Especially, I keep going back to cuando jugaron contra Francia, Paraguay Francia.
Hmm.
I always told John que ese partido broke people's hearts because they were getting down to the last minutes y Chilaver les dijo, hey man, we go to penalties, I got you guys. Uh, they ended up getting scored on, they lose the
Mm.
last few minutes. But, you know, yeah, Chivas fan hated him, but as a soccer fan, loved him.
I appreciated him as a striker and his abilities,
Mhm.
but as a fan of playing against my team, I didn't like him. But I'd like to mention some of the guys, maybe not even a five, that you guys haven't mentioned yet, that I
Wait, wait,
liked,
wait, 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 wait,
that
wait,
I
wait.
liked.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going off a list here because I didn't remember him off the bat. One of the guys was Mauro Boselli. That was one of my favorite strikers. He helped Leon in the bicampeón when Rafa Marquez was there. He brought
Mm-hmm.
them up from Segunda,
And Johnny
and he was a
Magallon.
top. Yeah, that's right. They built a really beast team there, and even went to Libertadores, if I'm not mistaken, and they did pretty well out there too.
Yeah, they did.
Seeing them in their crispy white Leon shirt,
Yeah.
but even then they're still rivals, so I don't like them. Another player that I didn't like but I recognize is Mancia.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I don't know. I
Hec-
forgot about that guy.
Hector
con,
Mancia. He's a natural finisher. He is good in short spaces.
con
That guy,
Querétaro o con
very
Toluca.
clever, man.
No, con Toluca, güey.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, damn. I forgot about him.
Juvie mentioned Chucho Benitez, but I'd like to mention one of his other, even though, we're not, yeah, I'll just say uh, Salvador Cabañas. During his time, even with Chapas, he's a predator, man.
Yeah,
Short, not the fittest player, but that guy will give you everything, and he'll score goals for you.
yep. It just sucks that he got himself into that trouble.
Yeah, man. Every like every other person, they got their own demons to fight. That was his, and it didn't end well for him, unfortunately.
Dude, that guy in 4 years he scored almost 100 goals for America.
O sea, es que equipazo que tenía la América, man. Y también you gotta
Nunca
remember.
jamás vas a oír que yo diga eso.
Fucking job.
Te
Man.
metas, güey.
And the last player I want to mention is El Chango Moreno. Also a player that was that I saw that I didn't like. Most of the guys in my list are strikers I didn't like because they would score a lot of goals against my team.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
saw Chango Moreno in the Home Depot Center playing. Oof. Jugadorazo.
But I like the other players you guys mentioned. The players that have done it longer or more longevity and been more consistent throughout their careers, like Cardoso and Gignac. Those are definitely emblematic players that have changed it for the better.
Yeah, man. And then I mean, Gignac's not slowing down. I think he's about 30.
I don't know about the slowing down. He's getting some
34?
injuries, man.
No, man,
And it
but
seems like he's Tigres' only offensive threat.
no, that for sure. But that's not his problem. When he's on the field, he scores, so he doesn't care about the woes that the team's having. But that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as he's on the field, he's a threat.
True that. But I think those days of leading the LigaMx are coming to an end. Maybe he could lead another one, but we'll see.
No,
John?
I think he's still good.
We'll see.
John Solista va a empezar con
quarantine don't
Cuauhtémoc,
help.
con Cana Villic, Luis García,
He is on the list.
Hermosillo.
No. No.
Puro americanista, la list de John.
Vamos a ver, güey. Qué vato mamón.
Así que dale pues.
First one, man. I always bring him up. He has a special place in my heart. Is Tito Villa. Jugadorazo con Cruz Azul. Played with Atlas. He
Went to a final with Cruz Azul.
yeah, Tecos, you
No me
know.
recuerdes.
But where did he win?
It's
Querétaro.
close.
Hey, ¿qué pasó,
Querétaro.
Juvie?
En Querétaro.
No, déjame hablar, ok, güey.
Sorry, I just had to mention that part.
No, le digo al Juvie. Tito
Hey,
Villa. Hey, bro.
One of those finals they lost was against Monterrey's Suazo team too.
Yeah.
Hey, just
Tito
real
Tito
quick.
Villa came.
Sorry,
Yeah,
just
I
real
think it
quick.
was the. what?
Juvie would probably fucking put Moises Munoz on the list just as a notable mention. Just
Nah.
No.
Andaba pensando.
Tito Villa, man, came from England where, he didn't really have that much success, and he came to the Liga MX and dominated. I have, I follow Cruz Azul now with Danny, so I can talk smack. But
From the inside.
yeah. From all honesty, Tito Villa, what he's done, he fell in love with the country, man, and he never left.
Yeah.
He never left. So, and he gave everything for that shirt. He fell in love with the shirt. The next one up is Omar Bravo.
Wait, before you continue, can I say something? Se enamoró de Querétaro,
Ooh.
no de Cruz Azul.
That's not true.
Just watch where he lives and what team gave him the good memories, and he'll say Querétaro. I'll find you in the interview. Don't worry.
Find it.
See,
Omar Bravo, one he all-time leading scorer in el equipo de mis amores. You know, he dominated in the air. He was one of those players that he was deadly. He was deadly when he was
yeah,
in the area.
and
You know,
it was pure
he
timing, man. It was
you
weird.
know
He had
in
a
2000 in
quick first step.
2006 in 2006 he terrorized Portugal. Portugal didn't know what to do with him,
Yeah,
right? You know, and la dupla de su compadre El Venado and him, man, it was deadly, very deadly.
yeah. The one of the best 1-2 punches.
Next one is Chucho. I think with Santos, he dominated. No, he went to Europe, didn't have success, but came back, and with America, he was deadly, man. He was like a Cabañas that where whenever he was in the area, man, he was watch out, you know. And ¿cuántos son, Juby? Tres, right?
Hmm.
See,
Luis Garcia. Luis Garcia was growing up, man. My cousin put me on game on him. You know, watching him in the '90s from the when he played with Chivas, where you know he was in
nah, pero
America.
ya cuando jugó con Chivas ya fue
Nah,
later
it wasn't
on.
in that. It was in the year before we won the championship.
Por eso,
Where
pero ya
well the year after,
cuando se le estaba acabando la carrera.
right? We played there 2 years, man. But with America, he was a beast. And as a selección, man, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
You know, and the last one is Jared. Jared is my uncle used to call him el es que ese pinche esqueleto que va a ser. And
Well, wasn't his nickname La Momia or something like that?
something like that. Yeah, man. But with Santos, man, he ese Pony Ruiz y Jared Borghetti Jr.
Ay.
Right?
¿Cómo me acuerdo?
And he gave it his all, man. If you guys ever have a chance, listen to the Fernando Palomo podcast when he interviewed him. He tells you how he came up. He's just
Yeah, humble.
humble dude, yeah, man. You know, again, went to England, but didn't have any success over there. Came back,
No,
a
pero
little success. He had a little success with
de
Cruz
both.
Azul, and a little success with Monterrey and Chivas, man. But with all honesty, if you put what he did, you know, he with Santos, man, nothing ever comes close.
Yeah, ese gol que le metió a Italia.
Yeah, you know that's the goal that took him to England.
Yeah.
You know, with Hermosillo, I didn't choose him because I really didn't see him play in his early days, man. He's one of those mid '80s, early '90s players.
Yeah.
So you know,
What he finished his career like in '98, something like that.
2000 to
2001. 2001. Because I think he last played. I think his last team he played for was Chivas. No.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Porque,
if I say that, I can't put him. Like I didn't see him play. Just like Saguinho, I saw Sage at the end of his career.
mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man, those are my picks.